Dadcast Nation, thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Dadcast Podcast. I'm your host, Lavelle Lamonier, and I want to thank you for being a part of what we're doing. Hey, before we get into the show this week, would you do me a great big favor? Right down below this video, there's a subscribe button and a like button. Would you go ahead and click subscribe? Doesn't cost you anything, but you can get all of the information about what we're doing every week. And the like button, that really helps us out. If you subscribe and like, those two things make a big difference. And then if you feel like leaving us a comment, go ahead and do so right down below in the comment section. We love to hear from the Dadcast Nation. Hey, I also got to give a great big thank you and a hey, honey, what's up, boo? To my lovely wife, Dr. Gabrielle Lamonier, who is the co-content manager and co-producer of this show. She's the brains behind this operation, and I just couldn't do it without her. So thank you, honey. Thank you for pushing us toward excellence every single week. Seriously? You want another dad joke? All right. This is the last one. Come on. Hey, I know a lot of jokes about retired people, but none of them work. Man, come on, let's check out this episode. Hey, folks, your host here, Lavelle Lamonier with the Dadcast Podcast, and I am in Nashville, Tennessee. That's right, country music, Hall of Fame, home. This is, when you think of Nashville, you think of country music. But I've got a secret for you folks. Let me come in real close and tell you. There are black folks in Nashville. Hey, I said it. I can do that because I'm a black man. All of my Caucasian friends out there, don't say that. Do not say that there are black folks in Nashville. You'll become prey or victim by the cancer culture. So don't say that. Let me say it for you. There are black folks in Nashville. That's right. Hey, there's some of everybody. There's diversity in this city, and we're going to find it as we go and check out some of the sites here in Nashville. Dadcast Nation, how's it going, folks? We're in Nashville, Tennessee, and hey, I stopped here to this mural, the I Believe in Nashville mural, and I was looking for something interesting to do and someone interesting to talk to. And I ran into these folks right here who they have a son they're going to tell us about. Remember, Dadcast Nation, you can tune in to us on YouTube. You can check us out on Instagram and on Facebook, as well as Twitter. But without further ado, I'm going to get to my interview right now. And if you folks will give me your name, please.
Sure, I'm Bob.
I'm Laura.
Okay, we have Bob and Laura. Are you guys natives of Nashville?
We are not. We are from New Jersey.
From New Jersey. All right. Well, folks, you know we were in New Brunswick, New Jersey on our last episode. So we've got some New Jersey folks here that are going to help us talk about Nashville, Tennessee. So tell me what you know about Nashville, why you're here, and a little bit about your son.
All right, well, we've been coming to Nashville for about 8 years now. Our son went to Belmont University, just down the road a bit. Graduated from there last year and didn't come home. So, no surprise.
It's a good thing.
So we love coming to Nashville. This area here, 12 South, is one of our favorite because it's kind of off the beaten path. But obviously going downtown to Broadway is always a fun thing as well. Let's see, what else? What other favorite areas do we have?
The Gulch is another great area of Nashville to visit. The food down here is phenomenal. I mean, you can't go into any restaurant and have a bad meal. They're all fantastic.
So about our son, he was 23, like I said, graduated last year from Belmont University. Went into the corporate world for a little bit, got an opportunity to play with this band, and he is now a full-time musician here on Broadway.
Living the dream.
Living his dream.
Living the dream. And as you know, as parents, we talk about this all the time. It was kind of hard for us to accept the fact that he wanted to quit this stable full-time job, to take a chance at living his dream and going to be a musician and trying to make ends meet that way. But he said to us, he said, if not now, when? He's 23 years old, and why not let him try to pursue his dream? A lot of people don't get an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You folks from the Dadcast Nation, you'll remember hearing me talk about Exit 209, the podcast that Stormy Warren has here in Nashville, where all of the music, those that have music dreams, take Exit 209 to come and try their hand here in Nashville, Tennessee. And so we have an example of it with your son. Do you want to tell the Dadcast Nation his name? Or
Sure. Yeah, sure. His name is Andrew Meckler. He goes by the name Drew.
Okay.
He's a passionate drummer. Plays everything from rock to country, prog rock, everything in between.
Does a little singing as well.
Does some singing. Actually, yeah, one of the songs he plays actually and sings at the same time is "Hot for Teacher" by Van Halen.
Oh, really?
Very difficult to play on drums as it is, but to sing it as well at the same time is pretty challenging. So very proud to see him do that and excel. So.
And tell me the last name.
Last name is Meckler. It's M as in Mary, Echler.
All right, Dadcast Nation, you heard it. Drew Meckler, right?
Yep, you got it.
Find him on social media. I'm sure he's there.
He is.
Look him up. If you're down here in Nashville, go down on Lower Broadway. Find one of these venues where he's playing, and all of the other great musicians here in the Nashville area are making their way here in the city. Folks, I want to thank you for being a part of my interview with the Dadcast Nation. Make sure you check this out. I'll let you know when the episode comes out, and we're glad to speak with you.
All right. Thanks so much, man.
Enjoy your time in Nashville.
All right.
Nice to meet you. Thanks.
All right, folks, I'm Lavelle. I'm out here for this part of the episode with the Dadcast Nation. We're going to travel around and see some of the other sites here in Nashville. Until then, we'll talk to you later. Bye. Folks, Lavelle here with the Dadcast Podcast. I want to say hello to the Dadcast Nation. Listen, folks, I've got a treat for you today. I came here, I wasn't looking, I've got to admit, I was not looking for this university. I knew it was here, but I just thought I'd drive around, and I stumbled across Fisk University, one of our HBCUs here in the country. I think I read that it was the first HBCU to receive accreditation from one of the accrediting agencies. I don't remember which one. I think it's SACS or one of those other ones. But as I was getting here preparing to do some filming, I ran across this guy here, this young man who I thought was a student, but is actually a professor here at Fisk University. Tell Dadcast Nation your name, please.
Hello, my name is Dr. Magana Kabugi.
You heard him right, folks. Let me get real close and tell you, he's a PhD holder, one of the professors right here at Fisk University, one of our very own. We're very proud to have him on with us. He's going to give us a little information about what he teaches, about Fisk University, and about the African American history here in Nashville, which I told you a little bit earlier that I was very unaware of. So help me welcome tell me your last name one more time.
Kabugi.
Dr. Kabugi to the Dadcast Podcast. All right, Dr. Kabugi, if you could tell me, what do you teach here at Fisk University?
So I'm in the Department of English here at Fisk, and my areas focus on African American literature and HBCU history.
Oh, great. And I guess I read the student population is around 900 or so.
About
here?
900.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who's the current president here?
The current president, his name is Dr. Van Newkirk Sr.
Okay.
He is a scholar who specializes in history of African Americans in North Carolina and lynching history.
Oh, wow. Okay. And how old is Fisk University?
So Fisk University is over 150 years old. It was founded in 1866 by the American Missionary Association. General Clinton B. Fisk, who was who served in the Union Army during the Civil War, gave the funds for the creation of a school for the children of the enslaved.
Okay.
And so in January 1866, Fisk, the Fisk Free Colored School, which is what it was called at first, opened up. Originally it was in downtown Nashville, but later the school relocated here, and this site was known as Fort Gillem.
Okay.
And so Fort Gillem is one of the highest points in Nashville, so you can see the campus from a lot of different points throughout the city.
Oh, great. And now the chapel here, is this named after General Fisk?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yes.
I saw that on the placard there.
Yeah.
Or the statue there. Okay. So when I think of Nashville, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a country music fan, and so when I think of Nashville, I think of country music, the Country Music Hall of Fame, Music Row,
Right.
Lower Broadway, where all the bars are.
Right.
And I was surprised as I drove around when I came into Nashville, and I saw a lot of African Americans throughout different parts of the city.
Right.
And as I've noticed everywhere that I've been, all cities, major cities, are divided into haves and have-nots. Low socioeconomic, high socioeconomic.
Right.
No different here in Nashville. But I just didn't think, for whatever reason, that Nashville had a very big minority population. When I read about it, it says that in the next 20 years, they expect Nashville to be a majority-minority community. So tell me a little bit about the history of African Americans here in Nashville.
So Nashville is about close to 30% black. And if you're just walking through downtown or on Broadway, that fact may not be very apparent. The downtown area of Nashville is predominantly white, so you're not going to see a lot of black people living in that area, but the area that Fisk is located in, as well as the other 3 HBCUs in this town.
3 HBCUs?
Yes, Tennessee.
Folks, did you hear that? There are 3 other HBCUs right here in Nashville.
Yes, Tennessee State University, Meharry Medical College, which is actually right across the street, and American Baptist College. Those are the other 3 HBCUs here in town.
Wow.
So as you can see, the only other city in the country with more HBCUs than Nashville is Atlanta. Atlanta has about 6 HBCUs.
Okay.
So the fact that there are so many HBCUs here shows that there's actually quite a very extensive black history here in Nashville that's under the surface. It's not really upfront, but if you know where to look, then there's a lot of gems you can find here relating to black history.
Okay.
Black people have been here since, of course, black people were enslaved here in Middle Tennessee, but following emancipation, you have the establishment of colleges and universities, churches. There are many historic black churches, especially downtown, such as First Baptist Church of Capitol Hill, 15th Avenue Baptist, other churches that are not coming to their names aren't coming to my mind, but a lot of historic churches. There is the Sunday School Publishing Board building right downtown off John Lewis Way, which is the largest building in Nashville owned by African Americans. It's run by the AME Church, I believe. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting little nuggets about black history that you'll find around town.
Are you familiar with the Sweats restaurant?
Yes, so there's a lot of historic soul food restaurants here in Nashville. Sweats is one of them, founded in the 1950s. They also run the Sweats Market, which is a convenience store across the street from it. There is Silver Sands Cafe. There's Kingdom Cafe, which is a more recent establishment that you'll find on Jefferson Street. And Jefferson Street really is the main black street here in Nashville. At one time it was a booming center of commerce in the black community here, but the building of Interstate 440 in the 1950s and 60s decimated the black community here, and it split neighborhoods apart, and it sent traffic right through North Nashville to other parts of the city, so which means that visitors would no longer have to stop in North Nashville to get gas or to get groceries or do other things. So it sends traffic just directly right over the black community, and it eventually over time a lot of the business activity in this part of town eroded. So today Jefferson Street is known as the sort of low income area of town, but there's still a lot of thriving activity here, both educationally and financially. And you have a lot of young black entrepreneurs who are trying to start new businesses in this part of town and on Jefferson.
Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. Here in Nashville, Tennessee, there is a strong black community that has strong roots that go very deep here in the Tennessee area. And if you get a chance, come out to Nashville and frequent some of these establishments that he mentioned. Come and see this beautiful campus. I think it's about 40 acres here at Fisk University, and as well as the other HBCUs that are here. And for those that are interested in some of the other educational institutions, there's Vanderbilt right down the road, where I believe you did his PhD. So he's an alumni of Vanderbilt as well. And so Nashville really is a great city, folks. It's more than music. It's more than just coming to have a good time. There's a lot of rich history right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Doctor, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for the information you provided for us, and thank you for imparting knowledge into the minds of our young African Americans. We really appreciate your service.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet
Appreciate it.
All right. All right, here at Sweat's Fine Foods, a soul food restaurant here in Nashville. So let's go inside and see what we could find to eat and hopefully give you a good review back on this restaurant. See you in a minute. All right, here it is, Sweat's. Let's see how much video I can do before I come in. All right, here's my meal, folks. I have a pork chop, some candy yams, some lemonade, some macaroni, and a dinner roll. All right, folks, we've got Lower Broadway here behind me. So we're gonna walk down, we're gonna take a look at Lower Broadway and some of the venues down here and see some of the historic areas that are in Nashville as well as some of the tourist attractions. So come on with me, take a walk down Lower Broadway. All right, folks, here we have the National Museum of African American Music. You can see it there. Let me zoom out so you can see the whole building. It's a part of the food hall area right off of Lower Broadway. All right, here's the historic Ryman Auditorium, where so many country music artists have played over the years. As you can see, there's a National Register of Historic Places plaque here. All right, folks, here we are in front of the Country Music Hall of Fame. I want to see if I could zoom in for you and let you take a look at the sign. It's blocked by a tree there just a little bit, but hopefully you'll be able to see most of it. That's the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum just ahead. Beautiful building. Again, we're here in Nashville, Tennessee. You can see some of the surroundings. Bridgestone Arena here to the side of me. It's got Music City Center up ahead. And then, of course, we have just come down from the Lower Broadway area. Big Machine Music, one of the major record labels here in Nashville, right there for you. And as I've said, Nashville is a beautiful city. So for the Dadcast podcast, this is Lavelle signing off from Nashville, Tennessee. We'll see you again soon on our next episode.